What's going on? It's Justeeni here. We're going to be doing something a little different today. Instead of like going over a game and something, we're going to be going over something that I feel like isn't talked about very much. We're going to talk about markets and how to use them. So I've got a situation here. This was a game that I played. Crazy. But where do you think the markets should go? I'll give you a little time to think about market placement here already with the existing cities we have and how we should go about it. You can like pause the video if you want or whatever. But yeah, basically I'm going to show you what I do with my markets and why. And then also if there's like any other optimizations, you know, because I usually miss things with markets. They're kind of tricky to optimize, so fast forwarding a bit, first big thing to note, border growths. Don't forget about them. If you get a pop growth here, very sad because you miss out on 2 forests, which is actually more than 2 market levels. It's 4 market levels you miss out on by not taking the border growth. So that's one important thing. And then the other important thing, once we get to the markets, so yeah, I've got these markets here, both level 4. And the big thing here is you see both of these sawmills helping the markets here. This is a very common pattern you'll see with markets. So this is something you want to pay a lot of attention to. 2 sawmills, 2 markets. This applies with like every other building, of course, but it's very easy to do with sawmills. And similarly, you can do something over here. And I'm slow to set up my markets here because I want to do it right and set up enough economy that way. So I get another border growth here. Set up some more things. You can pay attention to the combat if you want, but I would advise not. It's all about the markets right now. And you see the same thing here. 2 sawmills contributing to this market. So I have that kind of 2 market setup there as well. And then with the rest of the cities, you can do it like here, but it's not quite as good. And when you can't do a like 2 sawmill setup with the market, because here there's just not enough forests, what you'll usually do instead is just have 1 sawmill and just make the sawmill as high level as possible. So in the case of this one, you can do a level 3, but I go for the level 4 because it also gives you this lumber hut, which I needed anyway. And you can see, boom, I have some level 6 markets, some other level 6 markets. I'm going to get a level 4 here, level 3 here, and that's more than enough economy to win the game because the opponent doesn't even have markets. There's also this city, which I do eventually get back. And yeah, this one I actually don't care about making a market at all. I could go sawmill market if I really wanted to, or better yet, sawmill. Actually, is that even better? I mean, technically you get more levels because it's 6 extra levels of markets versus 5, but the level 5 sawmill I think makes up for it because it's 2 extra pop. But I don't really care for this. I could use monuments to like border growth and stuff, but like, well, I think I do eventually border growth, or maybe I like win the game first. But like if you like have a really hard time setting up a market, like a really watery city, oftentimes you just don't worry about it. So yeah, I win this game. All these replays in the description if you want to see like how to convert after you get the market. You have a bunch of different ways of doing it, and I feel like I already have plenty of videos showing that, and that's not really the topic of this video. It's more about, you know, just these basic market setups and kind of how to do those. So I'll go ahead and cut to another game. All right, here, similar situation, except we're actually going to look at it a bit earlier. So one important thing to consider is chopping for your market. So again, you can pause to kind of consider how you'd set things up. You have enough vision to work with already. We see we're going against IMO. Like, we're going to be setting up markets. We should know that here. The question is, like, where do you want to chop? Where do you want sawmills? Where do you want markets? So you can pause, think about it for a bit if you want. There's a lot more options this time. This is much more complicated. I actually don't think I got it correct in this game, but I'm not entirely sure. So we'll see what you guys come up with. So again, this one's a lot trickier. Right away though, what jumps out to me is if I chop these 3/4, very easy, sawmill, sawmill, market, market, boom, 2 level 8 markets. If you saw that, really good. Like that is probably the most important thing, and then the rest is kind of just a bonus after that, because 2 level 8 markets is plenty to win the game. So sure enough, when I get forestry, I chop for some reason. Oh yeah, I don't chop it because I don't need the stars immediately, but eventually I do chop it, leave that space there. Now the other cities, it gets a little trickier. Like for example, what do you do with these 2 cities? And notice how I'm thinking about the cities in pairs, because optimizing a single market isn't really the goal. You want the best overall markets. Some of them you kind of have to think as a single city, like here. You can't think about it as this pair of cities, because this is already kind of paired up with this. You can also try to think of like trios of cities, which initially I was thinking there might be a trio here, but since you already get the level 8 with this pair alone, there's really no need to do that. So I just decided these get paired up, and that's fine. It might not even be the best way to do it, because it might be better to like pair these and then pair like these or these. Who knows? Something like that. But it's kind of the path of least resistance. And then eventually things get set up. So we get to that point. We have these beautiful 2 level 4 sawmills and just slap down these markets. You can see how heavily I prioritize these. I'm not even going for the sawmills in other cities just to get those markets down, because it's that important. And then this is what I do over here. I don't know entirely. I'm pretty sure my thought process here. So one thing you can simply do is sawmill, sawmill, market, market, and then you have the overlap. But notice how both the markets are only level 5 in total. So that's basically a total of 10, right? Because 5 plus 5, that's 10. So what I do instead, you can see this setup here. It's a level 6 right now, but it's going to be a level 7. And this is a level 3. Same level here. But I want to make note of this because it's not quite the same thing, right? Because in that first example that I showed with a sawmill here, so market, market, this was a level 3 sawmill, and this was a level 2. And it's the same exact levels as this. So that's something you also have to be conscious about. If there's like 2 markets that give the exact same amount of economy, look for which one gives you the better sawmill levels. And in this case, this setup will do it. Now, are there any better ones? I was like looking at this for a while and I couldn't find anything. Like you could decide to just go like, oh yeah, this was the other idea. So sawmill, sawmill, market, market, not chopping this. This would give you level 5 and level 4, which is only 1 level lower, but it actually improves your sawmills even more. Now, as for whether that's better, it's a little tricky to tell, honestly. But there's actually some even more exotic ideas, which I didn't actually look for. So you could border growth. I don't think it was... No. You can border growth this city, but you'd have to border growth this city first, to then go sawmill, market, then border growth this city, and then go sawmill, and then I believe he wants to go market here, and this gives you the level 7 market here, and then a level 3, so it's 10 market levels total, really high level sawmills, and then this one is just sawmill market. So between the 3, that's 15. Whereas if you go with the setup that I went with, you get the 10 here, but this city doesn't end up being as good because, first off, because I went pop growth here, I don't even get this. So I get like a level 2 market here. So I guess that's like where like you pair them, which this is hard to find because you have to border growth 2 cities. So, you know, thinking that this city is going to pair with this one all the way over here is not the most intuitive, but honestly, it doesn't matter too much because at this point I found the most important markets here, and again, the opponent does not have markets. They're completely toast. Even this market setup is fine. So like if you find this in the game, that's great. If you could find that other market setup, big congrats. That's like actually really impressive because it's, again, not at all easy to find. And if we look at like the other cities, there's not really much in terms of markets. Like again, this one, you don't have much to work with. Actually, hold on. Is there a way to pair like these cities? Because if you pair these cities, I swear I was potentially looking for something. No, there's not any force between them, so you can't really pair these two cities. It's like there's no way to get the border growth order right. There's no way for these to work out. They're not happy together. But again, you guys kind of see the idea of this. I'm not going to ramble too much. But when you're looking for markets, you want to look for pairs, and if you find a good pair, then you go with that. And if you can't find a good pair, you know, like this city right here, for example, you just get the highest level sawmill and leave a market spot. Those ones are really simple, but these pairs are so much more effective because that's how you get the nice level 8 markets. There are some like examples of trios. I think I actually do have a game. I'll cut to that one. Okay, so this is another example. I was going against like a 1000 elo player, so I knew it was kind of free. And so I decided to work on my market planning. And this one I found really interesting. So I guess if you want to figure it out, there's a little bit of spoilers because the farm placements are kind of giving it away. I actually mess up the markets a little bit, but I get the important ones down, you know, because that's what matters. So again, if you want to pause, figure out the markets here, it's really interesting. So I've given you enough time. Don't worry about markets like up here. They kind of suck. You don't have very much to work with anyway. This is where it all matters. So first off, we have this overlap here. So we already have that pair, and we have this. But then this is where things get very juicy. We have this kind of like three-way, however you want to think about that. So basically what's happening is these two are paired, but then these two are also paired and these are paired. So it's like a pairception. It's a triangle. And if you can find these are very neat. I think I had one of those in like the tribe duels as well. But you can see this is a lot harder to set up. You have to be intentional about your border growth. Like if I border growth my cap, I actually can't do this setup. But you can see how good these markets are. In fact, when I finally max them out, like level 6, level 8, and level 6, that's like amazing. If I just went with like normal pairs, that wouldn't have happened. Actually, it gets even better because I don't even have this force burn. So it's level 7, and level 8 with 3 markets. It's amazing. Now here, you can see I did a bit of an oopsie because I got a pop growth here. This is where I messed up the market. I don't have any market here at all. I should have placed it here, which then makes this single windmill pair with 3 markets, which is like insane value. And then these, it pairs with a windmill here, and that gives what, a level 7, and then a level 6. Like with 5 cities, I'd have almost perfect markets. It would be genuinely crazy here. And yeah, unfortunately I missed that last one because I didn't get the border growth. Again, it doesn't matter. I didn't even need markets to win this because the poor opponent who unfortunately queued into someone with almost double their elo. But yeah, markets, that's how you use them. They're pretty tricky to get the hang of, but when you kind of get that thought process down, like thinking about your markets in terms of like working in pairs, or in this case, this nice trio, that kind of helps a lot. Even if like your markets don't end up perfect from this, they'll probably be significantly better than if you're not using this thought process. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.